Um,
Yeah.
but speaking of hate, my version of Superman. No, I'm joking. But I hate to say it, but episode 7 endeared me to this version of Livewire. I feel like that Simpsons meme. Say the line, Bart. Look, okay, I know I've been a notorious hater of this interpretation of Livewire because they stripped her of everything that made her interesting, and could have made her a great foil to Lois, Clark, and Jimmy, with her being in the where she was introduced Superman the anime series. She was a radio host who
Mhm.
talked about fake news and got people outraged, stuff like that, which is very prevalent in today's society and could have been very interesting. And I'm still upset that they didn't do that. But this episode humanizes her by having her sympathize with some relationship problems that Lois and Clark are going through due to her relationship with Heatwave, who still upset that they made Heatwave a Superman villain when Heatwave is like one of the Flash's most famous villains. It's like if they randomly decided that Mr. Freeze should be a Superman villain. People
Yeah.
people would be like, "What do you what? That's what? That's weird, right? So why would you make Heatwave
Yeah.
the Superman villain? It's strange. They make some strange decisions with the villains, but I tell you, a villain they don't make strange decisions with, Braniac, because in episode 8, that man was evil. He was making Clark go through it. So unfortunately, they're doing exactly as I predicted and making the more popular villains perfect, but making changes to the smaller villains to the point where they're practically new characters. But I digress. Again, got to get that hater out my soul. Uh, Sometimes it just comes out, even when I'm talking about stuff that I like.
I get it. I get it.
But your Brainiac, this last episode was so good. Let me make that very clear, because I did the thing. I started hating, but with my favorite Superman, it just happens because Superman is just in a weird place right now, but he's getting better, and this show is a big part of that. And Brainiac, this episode was just great. Brainiac being easily the best villain in the show so far, and he uses a device that's named after a flower that we used in one of Superman's most famous comics called "For the Man Who Had Everything," written by Alan Moore, which was used to mind control him by what's his name, Mongol. And Brainiac also uses it to mind control him. And
Oh.
meanwhile, Kara flies into Jimmy and Lois as they go after Clark in a spaceship that they stole with the help of Livewire. And Kara and Jimmy's relationship is very cute, and I'm excited to see where Kara goes from here, as she learns that she's been manipulated by Brainiac into committing heinous crimes in the name of the Kryptonian Empire. Which
Mhm.
this interpretation of the destruction of Krypton by Brainiac is very interesting, and I'm excited to see when they do the flashback of the actual destruction itself, which they haven't done yet.
Mm.
Yeah, it's really fun. Very like I said before, like Invincible vibes with essentially Brainiac using Supergirl as like uh um essentially like the Saiyans
Right.
in Dragon Ball Z. So yeah, it's very fun so far.
Sounds like fun.
It's specifically Livewire though. It's no other character brings the hate out of me like Livewire does. Like I don't talk trash about any other thing in this show except Livewire. Everything else is great except Livewire. Because to me, it's just such a gigantic missed opportunity. In this
Yeah.
episode 7, they have her essentially her whole thing in this show now is that she's a thief.
Mhm.
And it's like, why? You could have done the whole thief thing with so many characters, so many other characters. You could
Right.
have made them the thief. There's like, come on, Superman is the premier superhero. The one of the most famous things that supervillains do in comic books is rob banks. You think there isn't another Superman character they could have used to be the I rob people's character other than Livewire?
Right.
That's why I get so heated about it, and why, despite how much I love the show and everything else about the show, I start to like talk trash about Livewire because it's such a missed opportunity for a character that is so interesting, especially in today's society, that they decided to dilute so much that it
Right.
just it just gets me upset.